One of our viewers in Germany wrote in and said, "Hey there, guys."
Germany?
Yes.
Hello, Germany!
It's great to see you. Said, "Hey there, guys. Is it okay to? I hope it's okay to ask you this. Can G-spot stimulation bruise the urethra, and can it cause cystitis or UTIs? I'm not talking well today. Do I have to be careful putting pressure on or when stimulating the G-spot? I really appreciate your comments and feedback based on your experience."
Ooh, that's a great question. Hello, Germany, you smarty pants. Yes.
This is Reid from ReidAboutSex.com.
And this is Cathy from the IntimacyDojo.com. Well, it's a great question and a great observation. And pretty much doing anything too hard, too soon, too fast, you risk injuring stuff, especially around genitalia. And the way that the question is very educated in that it does talk about the urethral sponge, and that it is called the urethral sponge because there is a urethra inside of it. When the urethral sponge, to my knowledge, I do not have a urethral sponge in the way that a vulva owner does.
Yes.
I do not have a G-spot in the way that a vulva owner does. If you were to rub and vigorously try to do G-spot massage on a G-spot where the urethral sponge isn't fully engorged and a lot of the other erectile tissue isn't fully engorged, I mean, you could do some damage. And at the same time, when everything's kind of engorged and you're playing with somebody who actually can tell the difference between like erotic, intense stimulation that's a little bit like Owie, but the good kind of Owie versus the bad kind of Owie, and you're being in communication with people, then you can be very rough with urethras and G-spots. But I haven't, none of my lovers that I've played with have ever talked to me about stuff post-play resulting in any kind of injury.
Right. I think the biggest thing is to always use lots of lube and be in communication. I've had really vigorous play, and I've sometimes been a little sore the next day, but not in a bad way, not like there's anything wrong. But yeah, it's possible to be a little sore, and if your partner may not be in the best physical shape or may have an illness, it'd be good to be a little more gentle or check in more frequently as you work into something like that.
Other things that are really useful: washing your hands, as far as
or
like
using gloves.
Using gloves that are clean, using gloves and lube, especially lube that's meant for playing with bodies, not a lube that you concocted out of honey and
A
Pam spray or something like that.
Sugar is bad down there.
Yeah, I mean when you're introducing things into the ecosystem of the vagina and the urinary tract, the urethra, that's where things become dicey, because if you didn't introduce those things would be better for the ecosystem in general. Somebody who's, again, I'm not a urologist, nor am I a doctor, or do I play one on television. These are just things as a geek that I learned from talking to doctors and urologists and people who play them on television.
Yes.
Interesting. But you can learn all this stuff and then take precautions, and especially for the G-spot owners themselves, find out how your body works and when your body's ready for that kind of vigorous stimulation.
Yeah, and it's really okay to take things slow and pay attention to the body you're playing with, whether it's yours or someone else's, and see if you can visually and tactily feel when the body is engorged, those parts of the body are engorged. A lot of times when we're nervous about something, we kind of like are going on autopilot, and we're not looking for the signs of, everything's nice and puffy, and there's lots of hip motion, and like there's a lot of things that you can give you signs that the body is ready for more stimulation. Them saying more and more definitely helps too.
Yeah, and of course things like gloves and just trimming your nails and making sure that you're using toys and playing with your hands in ways that aren't scratching things on the inside, that helps a lot. Not a lot of forceful stimulation right on the opening of the urethra and the urethral sponge.
Though some gentle
stimulation and even firm pressure can be fine, but you're not like you're not trying to get the edge of a sticker off of what it's stuck on. Like, yeah, exactly. But people, if you haven't been communicating with each other or really kind of practicing or listening to videos and instructional videos and things like that, like with my online course Sex 10X,
It's a great program.
Yeah, and you can get that stuff at readaboutsex.com/store. Like learning these things and actually having somebody teach you is a lot more powerful than trying to watch a video, maybe a homemade video or maybe a porn video where you can't really tell what they're doing because of the camera angle. It might look like they're doing this, but really what they're doing is they're using the pad of their finger to rub and push. They're not using their nail. Yeah. And those little adjustments make huge differences in the long run when you're playing with people's bodies.
You can have a really fun date night if you like to, if your partner's in agreement, where you just spend some time saying, get after some foreplay, go down there and start saying, do you like this now? How about this now? Mm-hmm. And try just playing.
More pressure, less pressure, more speed, less speed, like faster, slower, all that stuff.
Yeah, and then as they get more excited, you can try a little more vigorous stuff if that feels good. But that can be a really hot date night where you get to learn, and they might be really discovering things they like that they didn't know. So it could be a gift to both of you.
Where you get to play doctor, yeah? Thank you, Germany, for your...
That was from Germany, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Germany, for your video question.
Please leave comments below. What do you think, and what do you think of Reid's accent?
Yeah, good. More comments. Schnell.